How does a land born from volcanic fury become a sanctuary of ice, where glaciers carve valleys, while geysers pierce the frozen earth, where winter darkness gives way to dancing lights that no camera can fully capture? This is Iceland, not the Iceland of tourist brochures, but the Iceland that has waited millions of years to tell its story. A place where the earth itself is still breathing, still creating, still surprising. Over the next half hour, we're going deep into the landscapes that make Iceland unlike anywhere else on our planet. From lava fields that glow like another world, to ice caves that vanish with each passing summer. This isn't just another travel guide. It's an invitation to understand why Iceland has become one of the most sought-after destinations on Earth. Let's begin where Iceland itself began, in fire and fury beneath the North Atlantic waves. Volcanic origins. Iceland sits on the Mid-Atlantic ridge, where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates are slowly tearing apart. While most of this ridge lies hidden beneath ocean waves, Iceland rises above the surface, giving us a rare glimpse at the raw power that shapes our planet. The island is home to over 130 volcanic mountains, with roughly 30 remaining active today. An eruption happens here, on average, every 4 to 5 years. The most recent major eruption began in 2021 on the Reykjanes Peninsula, and volcanic activity continues reshaping the landscape in real time. What does this mean for travelers? You're walking on some of the youngest land on Earth. The black lava fields stretching across Iceland's interior aren't ancient relics. They're fresh wounds in the Earth's crust. At places like Eltran, created by the catastrophic Laki eruption of 1783, thick blankets of moss now cover jagged basalt, creating an otherworldly green carpet. But here's something most visitors don't realize: that moss took decades, sometimes centuries, to grow. A single footprint can destroy 70 years of growth. This is why Iceland has strict rules about staying on marked paths. Glaciers and ice. Moving from fire to ice, glaciers cover roughly 11% of Iceland's surface. Vatnajökull, Iceland's largest glacier, is also Europe's largest ice cap by volume, covering over 8,000 square kilometers, larger than all glaciers on mainland Europe combined. Beneath this massive sheet of ice lie several active volcanoes, creating a constant battle between fire and ice. This tension has created Iceland's most stunning features. Jökulsárlón, the famous glacier lagoon, exists because Breiðamerkurjökull Glacier has been retreating since the 1920s. As it melts, enormous chunks of ice break off and float into the lagoon, creating a constantly changing seascape of blue and white icebergs. These icebergs eventually drift to the nearby black sand beach, creating Diamond Beach, crystal clear ice chunks, some as large as cars, scattered across jet black volcanic sand. The contrast is so striking that photographers travel from around the world specifically for this site. Yet, Jökulsárlón is more than pretty pictures. It's a stark reminder of climate change. The lagoon didn't exist until the 1930s and continues growing every year, now over 250 meters deep. Iceland's deepest lake. Ice caves. Iceland's ice caves are temporary masterpieces carved by meltwater beneath glaciers. Every winter, new caves form, and every summer, they collapse. The ice cave you visit this year might not exist next year. Inside Vatnajökull's caves, the world transforms. The ice glows in shades of deep blue so intense it seems unnatural. This happens because the ice is so densely packed that it absorbs all colours except blue. The walls are smooth and sculptural, and sunlight filtering through creates an ethereal glow. But here's the crucial thing: never enter an ice cave without a certified guide. Ice can collapse without warning. Crevasses can open up. Professional guides know how to read the ice and keep you safe. Geothermal power. Iceland sits atop a hotspot, superheated magma rising from deep within Earth's mantle. Hot springs bubble everywhere. Geysers shoot boiling water into the air. And Icelanders have harnessed this power to become leaders in renewable energy. Strókur, in the Golden Circle's geyser area, erupts every 5 to 10 minutes, shooting water up to 40 meters high. The ground pool bubbles and domes upward, building tension, then suddenly erupts. Nature's perfect timer. The Blue Lagoon, Iceland's most famous tourist attraction, is actually man-made, fed by water from the nearby Svartsengi geothermal power plant. The milky blue water, rich in silica and minerals, maintains comfortable temperatures year-round. For more authentic experiences, seek out natural hot springs like Reykjadalur, where you hike up a steaming valley to bathe in a warm river, or visit Landmannalaugar, where colourful rhyolite mountains surround natural hot springs. The geothermal activity doesn't just provide bathing opportunities, it heats nearly 90% of Iceland's homes and generates about 25% of the country's electricity, making Iceland one of the cleanest energy users in the world. Black sand beaches. Iceland's beaches challenge everything you know about beaches. Forget white sand and palm trees. When volcanic lava meets the cold North Atlantic, it shatters into fine particles of volcanic glass and basalt, creating black sand. Reynisfjara, near Vík, is Iceland's most photographed black sand beach. Towering basalt columns rise like a giant's pipe organ. These hexagonal columns formed when lava cooled slowly and evenly. According to Icelandic folklore, they're actually trolls caught by sunrise and turned to stone. But Reynisfjara is also one of Iceland's most dangerous beaches. Sneaker waves, massive waves that appear suddenly, have caught visitors off guard, dragging them into freezing water. Several people have died here. The ocean rarely exceeds 10 degrees Celsius, cold enough for hypothermia within minutes. Never turn your back on the ocean at Reynisfjara. Northern Lights. The aurora borealis occurs when solar particles collide with gases in Earth's atmosphere near the magnetic poles, creating shimmering curtains of light in green, pink, purple, and occasionally red. Iceland offers prime viewing from September through April. Seeing them requires patience and luck. Clear skies, minimal light pollution, and significant solar activity. Many visitors spend their entire trip hoping for a glimpse and never see them. Others witness spectacular displays on their first night. The entire country sits within the auroral zone. meaning you can potentially see them from anywhere if conditions are right. They dance and shimmer, appearing and disappearing, changing shape and intensity. Sometimes faint, sometimes so bright they pulse across the entire sky. One thing to understand: photographs often look more vivid than what your eyes see. Cameras capture colors too faint for human vision, but there's still something magical about seeing them with your own eyes. The highlands. Iceland's highlands are essentially uninhabitable. Vast expanses of volcanic desert, glacial rivers, and geothermal areas. Roads are only passable from June to September, requiring four-wheel drive vehicles capable of fording rivers. Landmannalaugar offers scenery unlike anywhere else. Rhyolite mountains glow in shades of red, yellow, pink, and green from volcanic minerals that oxidized when magma cooled. Combined with black lava fields, green moss, and patches of snow, the landscape looks like a painter's palette. Further north lies Askja, a massive caldera formed in 1875 during one of Iceland's most powerful eruptions. Today, it contains Viti, a crater lake with warm, milky blue water you can actually swim in. This otherworldly quality is precisely why NASA has used Iceland's highlands as a training ground. The Apollo astronauts trained here before their moon missions. Waterfalls. Iceland might have more spectacular waterfalls per square kilometre than anywhere on Earth. Every river seems to drop over cliffs at some point, creating an endless variety of cascades from delicate ribbons of water to thundering cataracts. Gullfoss, the Golden Falls, drops 32 meters in 2 stages, creating massive spray and rainbows on sunny days. The glacial water, fed by Langjökull Glacier, carries silt that catches sunlight in a distinctive golden glow. Viewing platforms allow you to experience the falls from multiple angles, feeling the spray on your face and the thunder in your chest. Gullfoss is also a symbol of environmental protection. In the early 20th century, foreign investors wanted to build a hydroelectric dam here. Sigríður Tómasdóttir, the daughter of the farmer who owned the land, walked 120 kilometers to Reykjavik multiple times to protest the project. She even threatened to throw herself into the falls if construction began. Her passionate defense helped spark Iceland's environmental movement, and today, a memorial at the falls honors her legacy. Seljalandsfoss lets you walk behind its 60-meter drop, following a path that leads to a cave behind the curtain of falling water. Looking out through the waterfall at the Icelandic landscape beyond is unforgettable. Just be prepared to get wet. Waterproof clothing is essential, and cameras should be protected. In winter, the path often closes due to ice, making summer the best time to experience this unique perspective. Nearby, Skogafoss drops 60 meters into a churning pool, so perfectly formed it almost looks artificial. A staircase of 400 steps leads to the top, where you can see the river approach the cliff edge and simply drop away. On sunny days, the spray creates double rainbows. Legend says that a Viking settler named Thrassi hid a treasure chest in a cave behind Skogafoss. The ring from the chest allegedly ended up in a local museum, though the treasure itself was never found. In the north, Dettifoss claims the title of Europe's most powerful waterfall by volume. The glacial river Jökulsárfjöllum, carrying meltwater from Vatnajökull, drops 45 meters with such force that the ground trembles nearby. The water is grey with glacial sediment, and the roar is deafening even from the viewing platforms. Standing near Dettifoss, you feel nature's raw power. The sense that this force has been carving canyons for thousands of years and will continue long after we're gone. These are just a handful of Iceland's waterfalls. The country has hundreds more, ranging from roadside cascades you can photograph without leaving your car to remote falls that require hours of hiking to reach. Wildlife. Every summer, over 10 million puffins, more than 60% of the world's Atlantic puffin population, arrive in Iceland to breed. These distinctive birds, with their colourful beaks and comical waddle, burrow into cliff tops to lay eggs and raise young. The colonies on the Vestmannaeyjar Islands are among the world's largest, with cliffs covered in thousands of birds during breeding season. Puffins are surprisingly fast flyers, their small wings beating rapidly to propel their rotund bodies at speeds up to 80 kilometers per hour. They're also excellent swimmers, diving underwater to catch fish which they carry back to their chicks, sometimes holding 10 or more small fish in their beaks at once. But puffins face serious challenges. Climate change is warming ocean waters, pushing their food sources further from shore. Parent puffins must fly longer distances to find food, and sometimes they can't find enough to feed their chicks. Populations have declined significantly in recent years, with some colonies experiencing breeding failures. Seeing puffins in Iceland is a privilege that future generations may not have if warming continues. Iceland's coastal waters also attract humpback whales, minke whales, orcas, and even blue whales, the largest animal ever to exist on Earth, reaching lengths of 30 meters. Húsavík in the north is often called Iceland's whale-watching capital, with sighting success rates exceeding 95% during summer months. Whale-watching tours offer chances to see these magnificent creatures in their natural habitat. You might witness a humpback whale breaching, launching its entire body from the water in a spectacular display, or watch orcas hunting cooperatively, using sophisticated techniques to corral fish, or simply see the blow of a whale at the surface, followed by the graceful arc of its back as it dives. On land, Iceland's only native mammal is the Arctic fox, which has lived here since the Ice Age. These adaptable creatures change colour with the seasons, white in winter, brown in summer, and can be spotted throughout the country, particularly in the West Fjords. Reindeer, introduced from Norway in the 18th century, roam the eastern highlands. And Icelandic horses, a unique breed that has remained genetically isolated for 1,000 years, are beloved national treasures. These small, sturdy horses have a unique gait called the tolt, a smooth, fast walk that makes riding comfortable over long distances. Once an Icelandic horse leaves the country, it can never return, protecting the breed's purity. The West Fjords in Iceland's northwest is one of the country's most remote and least visited areas. Getting there requires hours of driving on narrow, winding roads that hug cliffsides and ford numerous rivers. There's no ring road here, no easy route, but for those willing to make the journey, it offers Iceland at its most raw and unspoiled. The landscape is dramatic, steep mountainsides plunging into deep fjords, countless waterfalls cascading down cliff faces, and villages so small they might have just a handful of permanent residents. The weather here is harsher than elsewhere in Iceland, with more wind and rain, adding to the region's wild character. Lathrabjarg Cliff, at Iceland's westernmost point, stretches 14 kilometers and rises 440 meters above the North Atlantic, Europe's largest bird cliff, and one of the best places in Iceland to see puffins up close. The puffins here are remarkably unafraid of humans, allowing photographers to approach within meters, but the cliff edge drops sharply to crashing waves below, and the wind can be powerful enough to knock you off balance. Caution is essential. Dinjandi waterfall cascades 100 meters down a mountainside in 7 tiers, spreading out as it descends to create a bridal veil effect. The approach takes you past several smaller waterfalls, each beautiful in its own right, building anticipation for the main event. Seeing Dinjandi in person, hearing its thunder echo off the surrounding mountains, is worth every hour of the drive to get there. The Westfjords offer something increasingly rare in our connected world: true solitude. You can drive for an hour and see no other cars. You can hike trails where you won't encounter another person. In a world where popular destinations are increasingly crowded, this remoteness is itself a form of luxury, the luxury of having magnificent landscapes essentially to yourself. Weather and seasons. There's a saying in Iceland: if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. A sunny morning can become a blizzard by afternoon. A calm day can suddenly turn into a windstorm. This variability comes from Iceland's position at the meeting point of Arctic and Atlantic air masses. Wind is perhaps Iceland's most underestimated challenge. Speeds commonly reach 60 to 80 kilometers per hour, and during storms, they can exceed 120 kilometers per hour. This is strong enough to blow open car doors if you're not careful, potentially damaging them. It's strong enough to knock you off your feet, and it's certainly strong enough to make waterfall spray blow horizontally, soaking you even when you think you're standing at a safe distance. Always hold car doors firmly when opening them, and park facing into the wind when possible. Rain is frequent year-round, not gentle rain, but driving rain that comes at you sideways. Umbrellas are useless. The wind will destroy them. You need proper waterproof layers, not water-resistant fashion jackets, but true waterproof rain gear with sealed seams and hoods that actually stay up in wind. Temperature-wise, Iceland is surprisingly mild. Summer temperatures range from 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. Winter hovers around freezing, rarely dropping below -10. The Gulf Stream moderates the climate, keeping it warmer than expected for this latitude. But wind chill makes it feel much colder than thermometers suggest, and the weather can change with little warning. Layering is essential. You might need to add or remove layers multiple times in a single day. During summer, particularly around the solstice, Iceland experiences nearly 24 hours of daylight. The sun barely dips below the horizon before rising again. This creates a surreal experience where you lose track of time, finding yourself hiking at midnight in bright sunshine. The endless daylight energizes some visitors but disrupts others' sleep. Bring a sleep mask, and blackout curtains are essential. During winter solstice, only about 4 hours of daylight illuminate the day. The sun stays low on the horizon, creating hours of twilight, a perpetual golden hour photographers dream about. This darkness requires mental adjustment, but it's also when the northern lights are most visible, when ice caves are accessible, and when the landscapes take on stark, dramatic beauty. Thingvellir. Thingvellir National Park is the only place on Earth where you can see the mid-Atlantic ridge above sea level and walk between two continental plates. The North American and Eurasian plates are pulling apart here at about 2 centimeters per year, creating visible rifts and fissures throughout the park. The Almannagjá Gorge lets you literally walk through the rift between continents, with rough volcanic walls rising on either side. Beyond its geological significance, Thingvellir holds immense historical importance. Icelanders established their first parliament, the Alþingi, here in 930 AD, making it one of the world's oldest surviving parliamentary institutions. For centuries, Icelanders gathered here annually to settle disputes, make laws, and conduct business. Within Thingvellir lies Silfra Fissure, offering some of the world's best visibility for diving and snorkeling, often exceeding 100 meters. The water is filtered through porous lava rock for decades before emerging in Silfra, making it incredibly pure and clear. It's also incredibly cold, around 2 degrees Celsius year-round. requiring dry suits for anyone entering the water. Snorkeling or diving in Silfra is a unique experience, touching North America with one hand and Eurasia with the other, while floating in water so clear it feels like flying. The blue hues seem to glow from within, and the rock formations tell the story of the Earth slowly tearing itself apart. Culture and traditions. Icelandic is a North Germanic language that has changed remarkably little over 1,000 years. Modern Icelanders can read medieval sagas with relative ease, something impossible in most other languages. They actively resist importing foreign words. The Icelandic word for computer, tölva, combines number and prophetess, while telephone is sími, and internet is veraldarvefur for World Web. The sagas themselves, medieval prose narratives from the 13th and 14th centuries, remain central to Icelandic culture. These stories of Viking settlement, family feuds, and heroic deeds are still widely read and studied. Many saga locations can be visited today, creating a tangible connection between Iceland's landscape and its literary heritage. Icelanders maintain unique Christmas traditions, including the Yule Lads, 13 mischievous characters who visit children on the 13 nights before Christmas. Each has a distinct personality. One steals sausages, another slams doors, another licks spoons. Children leave shoes in their windows, receiving small gifts if well behaved, or potatoes if naughty. The Yule cat, an enormous feline, supposedly eats anyone who doesn't receive new clothes for Christmas, a tradition that originally encouraged timely completion of autumn wool processing. Icelandic cuisine has evolved from survival food to culinary art. Traditional dishes include hakal, fermented shark, hardfiska, dried fish, and lamb prepared in countless ways. The lamb is particularly special. Icelandic sheep roam freely all summer, grazing on wild herbs, which gives the meat a distinctive flavour. Modern Reykjavik boasts excellent restaurants serving new Nordic cuisine, creative interpretations of traditional ingredients. Don't miss trying a traditional Icelandic hot dog from the famous Bæjarins Bestu stand in Reykjavik. They've been serving them since 1937. The lamb-based sausage is topped with raw and crispy fried onions, ketchup, sweet mustard, and remoulade. Sounds strange, but tastes incredible. Sustainable tourism. Iceland's visitor numbers grew from 500,000 in 2010 to over 2 million before the pandemic. A massive increase for a country of 370,000 people. This tourism boom brought economic benefits, but also created significant challenges: overcrowded sites, damaged environments, strained infrastructure, and local communities grappling with the impacts of mass tourism. In response, Iceland has implemented sustainability measures, advanced booking requirements at some popular sites, fees funding environmental protection, and rangers educating visitors about responsible behaviour. Some previously accessible areas have been closed to allow recovery from overuse. You can contribute to sustainable tourism by visiting during shoulder seasons, May to June or September to October. Spreading tourism impact throughout the year. Explore less visited regions rather than only following popular routes. Support local businesses rather than international chains. Follow. Leave no trace principles. Stay on marked paths. Pack out all trash. Use designated facilities. Respect barriers and warning signs. They exist for good reasons. Iceland's landscapes took thousands of years to form and can be damaged in moments. Responsible tourism ensures these landscapes will remain for future generations. Conclusion: Iceland is a land of contrasts. Fire and ice, light and dark, harsh and beautiful. It's a place where geological processes usually hidden beneath our feet happen before your eyes. Volcanoes erupt, glaciers carve, geysers explode, but it's more than geological drama. It's a lesson in resilience. The early settlers found one of Earth's most challenging environments and built a thriving culture that today ranks among the world's happiest. For visitors, Iceland offers something increasingly rare, a sense of wonder. In an age when we can see photos of anywhere instantly, actually being in Iceland still has the power to surprise. The scale, the power, the otherworldly beauty. These are experiences photos can't fully capture. If you're planning a trip, come with realistic expectations. The weather will probably be worse than you hope. Your itinerary might need to change. But if you embrace the unpredictability and stay flexible, Iceland will reward you with experiences you'll never forget. If this journey sparked your curiosity, share your thoughts in the comments. Which locations are now on your bucket list? If you found this valuable, please like this video and subscribe to GoGo Travels. We're building a community of curious travelers who want to understand destinations on a deeper level. Coming up next, we'll explore the hidden valleys of Nepal, from the Annapurna circuit to remote Himalayan villages. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember that the best journeys change how we see the world. Thanks for joining us on this Icelandic adventure. This is GoGo Travels, and we'll see you on the next journey.